1917. America declares war. But the real decision happened 2 years earlier. In a bank vault. When J.P. Morgan signed a check for $500 million. That check trapped America. Made neutrality impossible. By 1917, staying out meant economic suicide. This is how Wall Street forced America into World War I. August 1914. Europe goes to war. Wilson tells America, "We're staying neutral." Americans believe him. They want no part of Europe's bloodbath. For 3 years, Wilson repeats this promise. But while he's making speeches, something else is happening. Something that will make his promise worthless. Europe needs supplies. Desperately. Weapons. Bullets. Steel. Food. Oil. Germany is blockaded by Britain's navy. Can't buy from anyone. But the Allies can. And there's only one supplier big enough, America. American factories start producing around the clock. By 1915, production doubles. The economy booms. Jobs everywhere. But there's a problem building. A massive problem. Britain runs out of money. By late 1915, their gold reserves are nearly empty. They start shipping actual gold bars to America. Tons of them. Armed guards escort the bullion across the Atlantic. An empire's wealth crossing the ocean to buy bullets. Then the gold runs out completely. Britain sends a message to New York. "We need credit. Can you help?" J.P. Morgan says yes. But not alone. He brings together every major bank on Wall Street. National, City, Chase, First National. Together they lend Britain $500 million. The biggest loan in history. Then France needs money. Then Britain needs more. The loans keep growing. By early 1917, $2 billion. America's entire federal budget was $1 billion. Private banks had lent twice that. To one side of a foreign war. Now here's the problem. What if Germany wins? Britain and France can't repay. Morgan loses $2 billion. Every participating bank collapses. But it doesn't stop there. American factories expanded for war production. Workers were hired by the hundreds of thousands. All financed on credit. All depending on Allied victory. If the Allies lose, factories close. Workers lose jobs. Banks holding those debts fail. Stock market crashes. Total economic meltdown. Within weeks. By 1916, everyone in Washington sees it. America's survival depends on Allied victory. Wilson knows it. Treasury officials know it. But the public doesn't. Wilson won re-election promising to stay neutral. Americans don't want war. Meanwhile, Morgan meets privately with government officials. His message: Britain needs more credit now. Without it, they default. When they default, we all collapse. January 1917. Britain sends an urgent warning. We're completely out of money. Without new loans immediately, we default in weeks. Morgan arranges emergency meetings. The message to Washington is clear. If Britain falls, American banks fall. If banks fall, the economy falls. There's no escape. Wilson faces an impossible choice. Economic catastrophe or war. But he needs public support. He needs a reason. Then Germany provides one. February 1917. Germany announces unrestricted submarine warfare. American ships are now targets. 3 weeks later, British intelligence intercepts a telegram. Germany to Mexico. Help us fight America. After we win, you get Texas, Arizona, New Mexico back. Wilson releases this to newspapers. American outrage explodes overnight. Now Wilson has what he needs. Not save the banks. but defend American territory. April 2, 1917. Wilson addresses Congress. The world must be made safe for democracy. Beautiful words. Powerful rhetoric. And he means them. But notice what he doesn't mention. The loans. The banks. The economic collapse waiting to happen. He doesn't need to. Congress votes for war 4 days later. Now watch what happens. Government launches Liberty Bond campaigns. Buy bonds. Support the troops. Americans buy bonds believing they're funding soldiers. But here's the actual mechanism. Citizens lend money to government. Government lends money to allies. Allies repay Wall Street. The private debt becomes public debt. Wall Street's risk transfers to taxpayers. The banks get rescued. And nobody realizes it. By war's end, $23 billion raised. 10 times the original loans. Wall Street doesn't just survive. It dominates. Corporate profits soar. When the war ends, everything has changed. Before, London controlled global finance. After, New York controls global finance. Britain owes America billions. France owes billions. The dollar replaces the pound. America entered trapped. Emerged as financial superpower. This becomes a template. Lend money to foreign governments. Wait until they can't repay. Crisis develops. Use crisis as justification for intervention. Transfer private risk to public. Emerge more powerful. World War II? Same pattern. Korea? Same pattern. Vietnam? Same pattern. It's not conspiracy. It's how the system works. Did America fight for democracy? Or for banks? Both. They weren't separate. Wilson's ideals were real. But they aligned perfectly with financial survival. When morality and money point the same direction, wars happen. In 1917, they pointed the same way. Democracy needed defending. Banks needed saving. One war solved both problems. In 1917, Wall Street made a bet. When it went bad, government stepped in. Taxpayers covered it. Wrapped in patriotism. Nobody noticed. Wilson spoke about principles. The ledgers told a different story. $2 billion in loans. That's what forced America into war. Everything else was justification. The world was made safe for democracy. But first, it was made safe for American banks. That's the part missing from history books.